And hello YouTube, this is GSmaniamsmart, and I'm here today with another brand new video for tutorials with GS. Now today we're going to have another Photoshop tutorial, and we're going to be teaching you one of the more basic things to do in Photoshop, how to make a panorama. And basically what a panorama is, it's a combination of several shots that you've taken of something. Most likely it's going to be a landscape, or some sort of city, or anything that you've taken several shots of, some side-by-side shots, and you want to put all these shots together and merge them into one picture. To give you a better explanation and to show you an example, we're going to go ahead and look at some panoramas on Google Images. I'm going to misspell that. But basically, this is what the panoramas look like. It's basically puts all the images together in one really wide shot, and it makes it look really nice. Now, generally speaking, you would take about 6-7 of these pictures, and they would be divided up like so, and then you would drop them into Photoshop and use the Photomerge tool to combine them and merge them into one picture. Now we scroll down, we see several other cool examples. It's a really nice way to take some really wide shots that a lot of cameras can't take, and it makes it look really professional. So we're going to go ahead and look at the photos that I have here. Now I have a total of 7 pictures here. If we go ahead and look at them right here, as you can see, these are 7 shots taken, and we're going to be merging them all together into one picture that will make it look like a panorama. Now the first step is obviously to go ahead, go outside, or go to an area where you want to make a panorama of, and go take your pictures. Now when you take these pictures, there are some things you want to keep in mind. You want to make sure that your photos overlap each other a little bit. As you can see in this picture right here, this part of the mountain is in this picture, this part of the mountain is in this picture, and all these pictures overlap each other a little bit. You want to make sure your pictures overlap each other so that Photoshop can recognize the overlapping parts of the images and blend them together. Another thing you want to make sure is that your camera uses the same focal length, so you don't want to have some images zoomed in, some images zoomed out. You also want to make sure you have the same exposure for all your pictures. You don't want to use flash for one of your pictures and not use flash for another one of your pictures. You want to make sure that your camera stays at the same level. You don't want to use any distortion lenses, and you also want to make sure that you stay in the same position. So using a tripod would be a really good idea when taking these pictures if you have a hard time staying in the same position. Now once you've got your pictures, once you have all those tips down in your head and you've taken some really good pictures, what I suggest you do is you take a few pictures, you take a few shots, because some shots may work better than others. Take about 3 or 4, do 3 or 4 trials and see which ones look the best, and then go ahead and select your set of images. Now if you have Adobe Bridge, you can just highlight them all here, and you can go up to Tools, you can go to Photoshop, then go down to Photomerge, and this will open Photoshop for you and basically have the effect ready for you to customize. Now if you don't have Adobe Bridge, that's okay. You can just open Photoshop regularly, and be aware this method does work for versions CC6, CS6, CS5, CS4, and so on. This feature is something that's been in Photoshop for quite some time. You're going to go up to File, you're going to go to Automate, go to Photo Merge, and as you'll see here on the left side, there are several different effects that you can add to your panorama. You can use the auto preset here, or you can use some of the more advanced presets here. Some of these will take a longer time to render, so if you want to experiment around with them, you'll have to wait a little longer for them to render, but it's really not that big of a deal or that much of a difference. Anyway, now when you get to this window, you can either keep it at Files and you can go Browse, and you go to your folder or wherever your images are saved, and you can highlight all your images. The other thing that you could do is change this to Folder, click Browse, and just select the folder where your images are in, click OK, and all your images will be loaded into here. Now at the bottom here, you want to make sure you have blend images together check marked. If your camera takes photos with a vignette on the corners, on the edges, on the sides of the picture, which is like a dark, a dark slight shadow in your photograph on the edges and sides, some cameras take it like that, then you want to check mark this. And if you have any geometrical distortions, you want to check mark this too. If you're unsure if your pictures have these things, just check mark them anyway, because it's better safe than sorry. So if you're not sure if your camera or your photos have these, just check mark them anyway. It's not going to hurt you. But once you have all that done, then you're just going to go ahead and press OK. And Photoshop will start working on the panorama. When you get this little loading bar, it'll basically render it out for you. Now as you can see, we have some white space up here. You can easily fix this with the crop tool, which is right here. You click your image and you drag the sides and just drag it to where you want to start cropping. If you want more fine attunements, you can hold down Control and it'll move it in smaller increments. And go to the top here, like so. Go to the bottom here, like so. Then go to the right here, like so. When you have it cropped, you can press enter, and there you go. And we have some white space on the right side here, like so. As you can see now, our 7 images that we have all been merged together in one wide shot photo. It looks a lot better, it looks very professional, and it looks really nice too. Now, one thing that you do want to be aware of is that you don't want to move any of these layers around, because it will mess up your photo. So just keep it like this. You may want to just export it like that if you want to use it in some other designs, or if you want to do extra editing on it. I would just export it and save it. But this is one way of creating your panorama. Now we're gonna go ahead and take a look at some of the other effects real quick, just to show you the difference. Go to Automate again, go to Photomerge again, and let's go ahead and try. Let's try perspective. Now, depending on how well you take these pictures will also depend on how well these effects come out. If your pictures aren't overlapping as they should be, or if your pictures aren't at the same position, or the camera levels are off, then these effects won't work as well. So you want to make sure that you're taking these pictures in a good manner. Now as you can see, this effect right here gives this nice perspective effect right here that makes it look like we're actually standing in this picture. It gives it a nice, a 360 view from left to right. And if you want to crop this, once again, use the crop tool here, and you could just do it like that, and then come down like that, come over here like so, and then like so. And as you can see, the difference it's a massive difference. So these effects are really cool, and it looks really nice. It's very professional. It's a very easy feature of Photoshop, very easy thing to do, and it's definitely something that you want to try out with any photos that you may take. See if you can create a panorama, because they look really nice. So that's pretty much it, guys. As I said, it's quick, it's very easy to do. You just take your pictures, import them into Photoshop with the file. You go to Automate, go to Photomerge, you pick your effect that you want, and then you just import them into here and click OK. Hopefully this helped you all, and hopefully you can use this method in some of your future photograph projects. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video helped you out in any way. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. It'll really help me out. If you didn't like it, you can leave a comment as well, giving some feedback. If you have any other comments or questions, please leave them in the comments as well, and I'll do my best to answer them. I usually respond to comments within 24 to 48 hours, depending on your question and depending on how busy I am. I have plenty of other content on my channel about different software tutorials and how-to videos, so if you're interested in that type of stuff, check it out. And if you like what you're seeing, you can subscribe too. Really appreciate it. You can also check out my other channels and social media as shown on the screen right now. And with that, thank you so much everyone, and this is GSmaniamsmart, and I'll be back sooner than you think. Don't go anywhere.